Now what do you do? What do you do? There's no civility. You know, there's no being civil. And it's just bullshit. You know? Anxiety, depression, fucking having everything taken from anything, fucking just robbed, and just fucking whirlwind bullshit, you know. And it's like your life is going on, you know, and you're not participating. And all these decisions, all this bullshit's happening. These people fucking victimize you, and everybody just kind of takes fucking charge and takes control of your fucking life. And you people fucking honestly want me to fucking believe that I don't goddamn know that that's exactly what the fuck was going on in his home, and that piece of shit fucking ex-father-in-law and fucking in his home to my wife, his daughter. That they say, oh, there was no abuse and all this bullshit, and that she wasn't controlled, and he didn't block her fucking car up in the driveway. They got pictures of the shit and everything else. And plus, the motherfucker's done it countless times throughout our entire marriage. He forcibly fucking removed her just whenever he fucking wanted to, you know. Generally, whenever his feelings were hurt, whatever the fuck he wanted to do, you know, to gaslight somebody and hurt somebody and cause fucking problems and violent and everything else, he's done it. So, you know, and then they're like, oh no, she ain't being controlled and she's doing this shit on her own and she's making her own fucking decision. Well, she wasn't making any fucking decision when they took her out of the home. She was on a paid medical leave of absence for a damn injury to her mental health. You know, and the fucking piece of shit doctor, who just happens to be my former spouse's brother's, the golden child's freaking father-in-law. Everybody knew everybody's fucking shit. In her absence, you know, I find some things, I'm digging through everything, trying to find answers, because, you know, first I'm thinking, well, it's discard sovereignty, but she got fucking ripped the hell out of the home and abused the piss out of, and was unable to say anything. That's the kind of shit her father would do. You know, give her all these pills and everything. They knew. Her parents knew the combination of benzodiazepines and fucking antidepressants that caused problems in the past. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 different separate events over her life that caused chaos and hospitalization and suicide attempts and bullshit. They knew. And that's their method. That's the combination of medicine they use to abuse her and control this cycle of abuse, keep it fucking going. And they knew. They took her out. It's fucking. I'm standing in the courtroom, and my life is under control. These people are doing all this bullshit to me, and I'm supposed to believe that hers wasn't or something, because they're controlling it. Her daddy got money. He got fucking criminal money, cooker money, fucking shit money. Hey, he can't spend on normal things, or he's spending on fucking attorneys and everything else. They make me pay. I pay. I get to pay for everything that happened. Mental murder of my wife is a fucking failure of the civil court system, is trampling on my fucking rights. It just, and I'm silent. I haven't been able to speak. Not one word have I said in the courtroom. 4 times court appearance. Just, judge, don't ask me shit. Judge, come out, sit down, bap, and then that's it. Tell me I gotta do this and that. I'm a domestic abuser. I got contempt charge. I don't ever said shit. And every single time I've been there with evidence to prove nothing. You know? And her piece of shit fucking father sitting there smiling at me over there from his little seat. Now I'm missing $400,000 fucking dollars. Now I could prove it. I'm missing an unbatched credit card total $400,000 fucking dollars. POS has mountain of fucking erased transaction, everything in 1969 reported means a glitch was used. An exploit, a hack. on our network was used to obfuscate freaking payments. You know, and she's on with some guy or whatever that lives in another state nobody's ever heard of. And she's out the door. I'm missing 400 grand. Her daddy's got a $400,000 trust. She's moving to another state with a guy who just bought a $400,000 house after he quit his job as an IT security and network intrusions expert, who just happened to work for the same company that was involved in PCI compliance and freaking credit card reader we used at my business. And my former spouse had a freaking iPad that had her communicating with a former key holding employee, and where she says, yeah, you know, my dad just said, you know, he doesn't think we're smart enough to cover up our money laundering scheme. And freaking the attorney that we had said, oh, that, you know, that don't mean shit, you know, this is hearsay. I said, hearsay, motherfucker, that's right out her mouth. Yeah. Well, what about an OPC violator we tried to get her out of the house of her abusers because she told me she was being abused, you know, medical professional, she was abused by her father. Oh, that don't matter. The OPC just disappeared. It don't matter. It's not going to ruin your divorce. It's not going to matter. So what about the fact that her piece of shit attorney decided she was going to handle a woman's case who was on a paid medical leave of absence for an injury to mental health? I mean, that's unethical at best. You know, it's like she's an injury to her freaking mental health for which she's on a paid medical leave of absence from the state, on medication, and attorney goes, you want a divorce? Oh, you're on medication for mental health? Yeah, I'll take a case. You know? And all this, I just rendered fucking powerless by these people. And I was supposed to fucking believe that my spouse just, you know, she just left because she was unhappy. And that's how come this card had been left in silence for the past 16 fucking months. Because she just, you know, she just fell out. That's how come I was made a domestic abuser and lied about and smear campaign all over freaking town, slandered and libeled and everything and all this shit and harassed and freaking suicide attempt and PTSD and having to relive this shit every fucking day because, then, you know, I just don't love you anymore. I just want to move on. You know? You grow up, you acting like a baby. Because you just fell out of it. Well, I seen it. She's on heroin, meth, cocaine, LSD, freaking research chemicals, I don't even know what the fuck they were. 9 ounces of freaking marijuana just flooded the house, you know. No payments going out, and the bank account she closed after we were ordered to not dispose any community property. Of course, I get brought on a contempt charge because I called her mother about some heroin that I found killing people and stuff. They didn't like that very much. Yeah. These people are, how the fuck? How the fuck? That's my thing here, you know. How the fuck? How the fuck did I sit in a courtroom where like every the fuck body in there, you know, except the judge. The judge, she doesn't even know. She don't know any of this stuff. It's like my attorney's job apparently was to stop the judge from getting any of the shit that made her look guilty. I just know. This isn't just like some bullshit I'm making up because I'm some victim mentality or whatever. Like I have evidence. They're right there talking about the shit with former key holders of my business that were fired for theft and wretched shit. And she's they best fucking friends, and they're keeping up this whole thing about like, hey, you know, it's this money laundering scheme. You know, I hope this turns into lots of cash. And it's the same days that she's writing me letters talking about how much she loves me and how she's scared of her parents, all this shit. Which confusion abound. I mean, you know, maybe 3 weeks prior to her departure, you know, and she'd been taking fluvoxamine, you know, antidepressant. That was a fucking roller coaster ride until she got stable on the shit. And of course, probably can't mix heroin and LSD and marijuana and meth and coke and everything the fuck else she was taking, whatever else. Xanax, you know, on top of that, which out of all of that was probably the worst of it all. You know, and not to mention the fact that there's like a major adverse potential for adverse side effects when mixing Xanax and fluvoxamine. Her goddamn family doctor prescribed her the shit, and he'd have known that she'd had problems in the past if he knew how to read a fucking medical history, or he monitored her, or drug tested her, or did any fucking follow-ups at all. If you big old ass bottle of fluvoxamine. Not even a call me in the morning. I mean, 3 weeks prior to her departure from marriage, she says, look, this stuff's making me feel bad. I'm like sick as fuck. I don't know what to do. And I didn't know about the heroin, all the bullshit she was hiding in the house. You know? Bullshit like drugs was hiding in the bullshit like weird financial stuff. Shit that I didn't even know about. Credit cards I didn't even know about. Savings accounts, credit accounts. A fucking savings account connected to her fucking sister-in-law, you know, and a stupid fucking letter that was left there to keep up appearances about how the bank must have made a mistake because, you know, she's her name and this is her, and then there was no social security numbers, no birthdays, or nothing. And I'm like, you want to open a bank account or connect bank accounts, you gotta have some information other than a fucking name, you know. And trust, like with showing her birthday be like in 1940 or 1950 with like $1 in it and everything else. And then I find out about this crooked ass motherfucker, you know, her daddy. Bilkin HUD, fucking quit claim deed fraud, fucking mortgage manipulation, fuck little old ladies, you know, and poor black towns all over the state. But so no wonder they fucking poor. Look at them. The whole economy's going down these people. There's a fucking shitload of these people that are doing this. They've been doing it. That's why the whole state economy in the situation that it's in, because they bust one motherfucker in their little ring. He had a couple million, you know. He was just the guy to sign the paperwork. But there's another guy in the little ring up in the town north of where I'm at. This dude been doing it for 10 years. They put $100 million they seized from. I said one guy, $100 million, and add all these people up. There's your problem. So what do? I go down in the neighborhoods and ask, poor neighbors, ask, you have a problem with mortgage? Anybody fuck that? And people just, they didn't talk. They just seize up, boom. They're terrified to talk about that shit. So I know what's going on. I was out. You know, I was out. Because the U.S. Department of Justice just busted somebody over there, one of the big buddies in the middle of shit after they'd investigated this fool for 9 fucking years, and everybody's asshole got clenched, and all the fucking businesses in this town fucking boop, closing left and right. Sales down 40%. These motherfuckers stopped spending money and shit. Now I know, you know, and the only thing I gave a fuck about was my marriage and my spouse. And I mean, meanwhile, I'm trying to say, hey, help, and nobody's. I had a woman call me from another state who'd moved away to tell me that she had some information about one year when they came back home for Christmas, but he ended up standing out in the front yard looking over at my spouse's freaking parents' house. Police, everybody draw guns, drawing everything. He's got a damn gun. He's threatening to kill himself, and all this crazy shit. And I said, why? It's about Ryan, malignant narcissist. That's the kind of shit they do to people, threaten suicide and everything else. And I said, wowee, what a coincidence. It just happened to be 2014, whenever they almost freaking succeeded destroying and ruining our marriage again. I remember, same thing. She's in the house, blocked in, fucking. They enable her to the point she's a damn child. And then they just send her out on dates and put her on airplanes to other lands to go hook up with her daddy's friends, you know, people he does fucking business with, kids that are under their control, so to speak. The bitch is living in another fucking state right now with a fucking man who's a hacker who bought a $400,000 house on a deed of trust after he quit his fucking job. After my former father-in-law take out a $400,000 trust during a divorce. And she's trying to say it's a joke, a money laundering joke. I said, yeah, that's funny, because money laundering and he taking out a trust and you joking about money laundering with a former employee of a business that's missing $400,000 while daddy get a $400,000 trust, and you out the motherfucking door not talking to him, motherfucking silent treatment while you moving up into secretly moving up and getting on an airplane back and forth and spending Christmas with a motherfucker after 2 months of divorce, to move into a $400,000 house on a deed of fucking trust, and you joking about money laundering? That's hilarious. You know? And the FBI didn't fucking do shit. They didn't do a motherfucking thing. And I could tell that dude's voice on the phone whenever he said, "Yes, sir. You have a lot of red flags, sir, but I'm sorry, we're not going to open investigations, sir. I'm sorry." You know? I could hear it in his fucking voice. I just happen to be in the friggin' fine dining business, you know, so all of my clients, these crooked fucking motherfuckers, they're cowards. They're fucking cowards. Every fucking one of them. And they're snakes. And they have to live with themselves. I mean, they go all the way around. I was talking, it's a fine dining liquor. I was talking to a liquor distributor. He said, yeah, he said, we're down, 40% almost. He said, but for some reason, just in this area, I just can't figure it out. And it's like everywhere else, it's normal, And he said, there's no economic downturn. There's no reason to be 40% down. But he said, but for some reason, just this area, 40%. I said, yeah, I know why. Well, why is that? I said, because the motherfucker just got busted by the U.S. Department of Justice, and all them motherfuckers that have money ain't spending it right now, and they're fucking scrambling around, getting out trusts and fucking trying to save their asses. But in addition to scrambling around and getting a fucking trust, and under the stress that my former in-laws were under, there was time to start their fucking enmeshment bullshit and abuse to death, mentally murder. I mean, the person that was fucking dead and gone. And my cries for help fell upon deaf ears. And when I get in the courtroom, further, after being abused by silence, torture, people don't understand what it's like writhing in fucking agony on the fucking floor, swimming in fucking tears, night after night after night after night after night after night after night, and also not sleeping because you piece of shit fucked former ex-father-in-law paying motherfucking off-duty sheriffs and shit to follow you around in their goddamn vehicles everywhere you go. So we come out and look in the neighborhood, 2:30 in the morning, they creeping on by, and then take off, everywhere I'd go. And these are police, these are law enforcers. I don't understand to serve me shit. And they didn't do anything, Nothing. After she's out, the whole freaking month previous to her leaving, the fucking access to our building, in and out, alarm going off and not a single fucking call, And when we look at the call logs, we got them from the alarm company, which are almost impossible to get for some reason. The guy finally sends them over, and I'm looking over them, and it says, hey, the sheriff's office you call. They said, hey, we're too busy to respond, because the town that I had my freaking restaurant in, voted some felon mayor in office, and then all of a sudden the entire local police force has been laid off or whatever. So by law, they're required to hire a sheriff $25 an hour. And the reason they laid off the officers is because the officers wanted $1 an hour raise from $10 an hour to $11 an hour. And they just fired them all to hire sheriffs at $25 an hour. So then, just prior to my spouse's departure, I got alarm going off, in and out, breaks front door entry and stuff like that, unauthorized access to my freaking business. And no response from law enforcement. I got her talking about a money laundering scheme with a former key holding employee, missing $400,000, daddy a $400,000 trust. She's moved a $400,000 trust. It's all $400,000 house. I mean, on a deed, everybody knows what the fuck a trust is for, and it's for goddamn laundering money. That's what it's used for, and everybody fucking damn well knows it. And, you know, he's my spouse. While busy cleaning out the personal marital finances because I trusted her with that stuff all over the years. And to be fair, there was never a problem until right there when Big Daddy got involved at the end of it all in June 2017. Then there was a problem. She's systematically cleaning it out, you know. And I'm sure he was fucking helping her. You know. But all the while she's systematically cleaning out, she knows I'm looking at a massive theft I can't figure out in my business. I go to her crying. I don't know what to do. This theft is massive. She laughs in my face while I'm crying. And I said, what the fuck? Who is this person? A week prior to her departure, she almost kills me with a knife. Whenever I was cleaning out the garage, and I asked her, hey, why are we keeping these paint, these buckets of paint, gallons of paint? She said, why are we keeping? She says, don't fucking do anything with those. You fucking leave them right where they're at. And I said, what the fuck is wrong with you? You know, so whatever. Fuck you, you know, and all this stuff. And I said, look, and I opened up the paint can. It's just a hockey puck of fucking paint. There's no point. I said, I keep the lids or whatever. They got the colors on. Shut your fuck you, motherfucker. And then, like, while she's talking, I kind of glanced over, you know, to the counter and see a big fucking chef's knife right there. And I guess she saw me. And there she goes, boom, went for it. I had to defend myself. You know, I fucking defend myself. They scrambling around in this house whenever they come to get her personal belongings and shit. And when she took a guest room mattress, a fucking Keurig, a blender, some Objet d'Art, and her clothes. All of her art supplies, all of her freaking degrees and certifications, all of her shit was left. All of the shit that made her her was left here. She didn't get any of it. Drawer, everything. And they spent 2 hours in the master bedroom, the master bathroom, and her fucking daddy had one of these goons just sitting there rolling a fucking TV cord for 45 fucking minutes, keeping lookout to a damn sheriff who was leaning up in the kitchen watching me. And I got on videos, the sheriff's smiling with him and fucking around and giving them all the signals and fucking everything where I'm at, you know, and everything to keep, while they're digging around in there trying to freaking, you know, make sure that I wasn't hiding away any evidence. That's a fucked up video that I took there. In the one video, her goddamn daddy's abusing. He's abusing the shit out of his family right there. Abused me, barking orders at my freaking former spouse, who's got the damn emotional availability 4-year-old and is not looking in the camera at all. There's a camera, okay? I've been on movie sets. And there's a camera anywhere you go. There's a camera on. Motherfuckers are gonna look at it or glance at it at least once or twice or whatever. She don't fucking look at the whole thing. Meanwhile, her daddy's walking around with this weird goop on his freaking hands, and every once in a while, pull her out or pull her into the bed, close the door, do shit. You know, she's covering up black eyes, like it's not. And the thing is, I'm sitting here having to watch his terror, and he's just smiling at me. You know, and she's dead. And so he controlling her, or she's terrified of him. You can tell it's the subtlety and everything. And then she goes outside, drops some shit off, and walking back in. The sheriff that's leaning up there, my former father-in-law's buddy, you know, that he pays to do shit for him on the side or whatever. My former spouse walks in and goes, she walks by the office and says, I don't want to get the heroin again, and just keeps going. I said, what the fuck is that? Why the fuck is she telling a cop that she don't want to get the fucking heroin again, like the thing? And then I started looking on her Facebook and stuff like that, and see she keeping up appearances, got fucking, it's all there. Big lie. That's what these motherfucking people do. They abuse the fuck out of their kids. They abuse the fuck out of my wife. They abuse the fuck out of me. They fucking murdered my marriage and my wife. That's the way that I see it. And going back and looking, should I find texts that her mother would send to her to say, just make sure you erase these texts and just make sure you delete these. We don't want him to know that you know we're giving you advice. And what kind of motherfucking advice do you give somebody when you telling them delete this message? It's a fucking bunch of bullshit. You know? Now, she told me that she didn't know what the fuck to do whenever it's just sneak out of her fucking parents. It's just to sneak out of her parents' house, 37 years old, to come to her home with her husband. And her dad just fucking rip her the fuck out and go block her car and everything. What am I supposed to do? He's got guns and everything. The fuck else? So, hey, we filled out an OPC. We told the coroner, listen, man, like, medication she stopped. Her freaking family's, everything's going on. Within 10 minutes of going to the coroner's office, there's an OPC. And it was completely fucking violated. She never showed up. The OPC was violated exactly 72 hours after the coroner issued that order. Exactly. I have an officer serving me papers at 10 o'clock at night. Who the fuck has ever been served any kind of papers at 10 o'clock at night? Nobody. Forged signature on the motherfucker. Protection from abuse and restraining order, everything. Fuck else. And all that did was enable his abuse and fucking make sure that I wasn't coming around. Said I beat her, choked her, crammed guns down her throat, and was extensively violent and abusive throughout our entire fucking marriage. Didn't say anything about a goddamn knife, you know. And here's what I know, okay? I wasn't abusive. I love my wife. I love her, and she's the love of my fucking life. I've known her since damn high school. I'm almost 40. Lifelong friendship, love. It was amazing. The only time we had any fucking problems is with her parents and their fucking abuse. And she would break down and cry. I said, baby, what's the matter? It's a random. And she said to me, nowhere's far enough. Nowhere's far enough. I can't get nowhere's far enough. I said, what are you talking about? I said, my family. It's nowhere's far enough to get away. Nowhere. There's nothing I can do. And this was like maybe 3 months, 4 months out. Fucking, why did she leave? So, you have a woman who's on a paid medical leave absence from the state for an injury to her mental health, having just stopped dead in their tracks, antidepressants, parents spinning up in enmeshment trauma, drug abuse, and God knows what else or whatever. And then, her fucking piece of shit fucking father and the piece of shit abusive fucking narcissist attorney that they're using to just represent a woman who's mentally disabled, as her husband's trying and fighting against everything he fucking can to try to save his family, and all that control that went down just on me alone. And I'm supposed to believe that she wasn't. I know the level of control that was upon me in my fucking head. And I know the level of control is on her head because I've fucking experienced it before. And the reason they got rid of me because I was too much fucking trouble. Because I stood up for her. And they don't like that. They want to covertly abuse people, and they want people to be covertly fucking expressive about their fucking pain and suffering. We're going to covertly abuse you, so you be covert about your pain and suffering. No lawyer in the area, small town bullshit. They're all connected. And look, I know that sounds like victim mentality and everything. Everybody's connected. They're not the attorneys, okay? You can't find an attorney that's not connected in this fucking town. And plus, I have fucking evidence. Actual, real evidence. Not just some bullshit hearsay, gang stalking crap. Actual images, videos, papers of statements, shit from Facebook Messenger, and messages with fucking... I have it. Judge come out on a contempt hearing because I called her mother to tell her that I paid her car note for her because they called me and said they're about to repo the vehicle because she wasn't paying her fucking bill. And then next thing you know, I'm bringing in a contempt hearing where there's my former spouse, my former father-in-law, his wife, and then the parents of the fucking hacker dude that she fucking moved into the brand new $400,000 house with no state. The guy's fucking parents in the courtroom on divorce. And my attorney, my piece of shit attorney, he's a good old boy fucking with the former father-in-law. Got a goddamn camp house 2 houses down from my former father's house. The motherfucker told me he didn't even know him. And then I find out That the attorney that I had the whole time, who's been fucking making sure to fucking, I'm absolutely out of my mind. I said, what the fuck are you doing, man? Like, before the judge coming out to do the day's work or the day's fucking business on me in the courtroom, and I'm sitting there and my former spouse sitting there, and before the goddamn judge even sits at the bench, my attorney's up there telling her how to sentence me and shit for some shit I told him I didn't fucking do. That I prepared a video, I had a freaking stack of papers, of phone bills, and everything else. And he before she's even sitting down or calling it in a session, he's up there fucking telling her how to sentence me. The whole time, this motherfucker. Did you do this? I told you not to do it. Now you're gonna have to get in trouble and all this shit. He didn't fucking defend me or the fuck at all. And I mean, you couldn't even get calls back from this motherfucker. You had nothing. I didn't know what to. And then the court date's coming up. He don't talk to me about shit. Well, you know, like I said. Oh well, he's a former chairman of a mortgage association, local mortgage association. Timber Biz, a freaking former father-in-law with a camp 2 houses down. You know, from his house. Don't know who the fuck he is. It was all controlled, the whole thing. And the only person was the damn judge, because the judge didn't know. That was the whole point of my attorneys, to not get anything to the judge. The judge did not see any fucking thing that I had. And that was it. The civil law, the court system is obfuscated by fucking attorneys who literally stood in the way of me getting justice for my family. They were I was paying attorney thousands of dollars to stand in between me and telling a judge what was going on. A judge, no less, who's experienced in case of narcissistic abuse, never even found out that a motherfucker was sitting right in her courtroom, so goddamn brazen and confident in himself and his crimes, that he's big boss money motherfucker, he don't have to worry about shit, that he walks up into a courtroom and it's fine. He ain't worried about a fucking thing. And why should he be? I saw what happened. Nothing. I was silenced. I was sentenced. I was ordered to pay her fucking spousal support. She's flying back and forth on airplanes and shit. And I was ordered to pay her fucking attorney's fees for abandoning me, getting ripped out. Fucking what the fuck? So ultimately, at the end of it all, after the divorce was done, her not fucking saying a goddamn thing to me or showing any courage whatsoever, you know, because of the abuse and shit. I'm forced into that. I was discarded and goddamn tortured in silence. And her motherfucking daddy and her mom abused the piss out of her in their home with fucking drugs and everything else, like they've done before, several fucking times before, after violating OBC and shitting on my rights and lying and abusing the legal fucking process to make me a domestic abuser and bar us from communication, while they handled the fucking divorce for my mentally ill wife, who was on a paid medical leave of absence, cut us off. The last time I saw her, we made love, and she said, I love you so much, I'm terrified, I'm so scared, I don't know what to do, I'm gonna get in trouble to sneak out to come over here, I'm so scared, they're gonna ruin our fucking marriage, I don't know what to do. And she was abused. And that was it. That was the last time I fucking saw her. We were married, and she told me that she loved me. She's over there in their environment. In a matter of 6 months, we're divorced and done, and she's fucking malignantly aligned toward me, and she and I never even had fucking contact. And I'm supposed to believe that that was a conscious fucking choice that wasn't controlled? That she wasn't abused? That for some reason or another, us having no contact, she's over at their house, and just for some reason or another, with no contact between the two of us, she just decided that she's malignantly aligned. There's a smear campaign. There's all this fucking plans, everything, the business, the key holding, the money laundering, the fucking, and all that was just done without she and I even having any fucking contact. For the entire 10 years she and I were together, she wouldn't get off her goddamn daddy's phone plan. And for 6 years of that, she had a good excuse, because she said we were grandfathered into the unlimited data. And when that unlimited data shit like came back and it was free stuff, and I had a business and it would have been cheaper, she still wouldn't get off his phone plan, and she still ain't fucking off it today. I had a woman from the community come out and tell me how they used to bring my former spouse and her brother over to their house all the time. The dad's beating the shit out of him and beating his fucking wife and everything, and there's a crisis going on. A woman told me a goddamn standoff. I was abused by this motherfucker. I see what the fuck he does, and I have evidence to prove it. And I'm ordered to pay. I'm in fucking poverty right now. I don't know what I'm gonna fucking do or where the fucking bill money's. I've sold the fuck thing that I've owned, including my vehicle. I'm riding around on a goddamn dirt bike. And what do you do? I'm the only veteran in there, served my country, that actually put my life on the line for the Constitution of the United States of America. And I'm the one who's having all of that, all that shit's removed from me. From 4th Amendment, I had police just walk into my home with no warrant. And I have them on video where I'd say, am I arrested or detained? Nope. And then they just walk in the fucking house. I say, you don't have a warrant? Well, we don't need one. To driving down the road. They get pulled over. Freaking some dude, like, I'm sitting in a vehicle and then some dude just walks up to my door and starts jerking on the, get the fuck out of the truck. And I look over, it's like this jack swole freaking steroid rage motherfucker in a tracksuit. I get my camera, because that's what I do. I just get the fucking camera because I know it's going to be bullshit. And I hold it up and I said, and he says police and all this shit. I said, am I arrested or detained? He said, just get the fuck out. So I said, all right, I'm recording. I said, he pulled me out. I said, who are you? What's going on? He didn't tell me shit about who he was or anything. Jerked a passenger out of his fucking, and all this shit's going down. And this motherfucker, he walks up to me and he says, this is yours. And I said, the fuck it is? You know, that's not mine. What the fuck are you thinking? Because I was talking to the guy like this. I'm not used to shit because I got cameras. He said, no, you don't understand. You see, you're in possession. You get it? You understand? This is yours, isn't it? And I said, what are you getting at exactly? He said, what I'm getting at is that you're going to go to jail because this is yours. So your little camera and all that shit, you know. And I said, well, and it was at a convenience store, you know. I said, well, do you go and confiscate their cameras too? Because I was like, you can take me to prison all you want or whatever. And then this motherfucker, at the end of it all, he says, well, I can tell that you don't like cops very much. You got a thing against cops with your camera and everything, and your rights. By freaking telling me you got rights, I can tell you don't like cops very much. But I'm gonna change your mind, and I'm gonna show you that there are good cops, you know. And I'm gonna let you go today. And I said, for what? You're gonna let me go? You're letting me go because, why? Because you tried to fucking get me to take a charge or whatever to fuck with my head? Because you jerked me and a passenger out of my fucking vehicle without arresting or detaining us, and we don't have shit on us for no fucking reason at all except you just did it? And you haven't identified yourself? That's what I'm thinking on my head. But you know what I did? I went, man, I appreciate it, man. Boy, you're a really nice guy. You know, all right, thanks, you know, bye. I had a girl that I went to high school with. I hadn't heard from a long time. Recontacted me, connected and stuff or whatever. And she come over to the house and hang out. Well, everything's fine or whatever. I go to the restaurant, come back, and she's almost got my fucking dog dead. And that shit ended abruptly. Fucking put her ass out. And like, and even then, you know, I got a freaking spouse who said I've abused the shit out of her and all this stuff. I got a woman that's killing my fucking dog in front of my face. I didn't even hit her, you know. And so, like, then I find out after I bring the dog to the vet, save his damn life, that her daddy's a freaking deputy sheriff trying to kill the dog, you know, that barks and makes the noise whenever somebody comes to the fucking door. Hello?
Aaron.
Yeah.
Aaron, this is Deputy Sheriff Chuck Lincoln.
How are you, sir?
What the fuck do you mean talking to my wife the way you did?
What are you talking about? Your daughter almost killed my dog.
I know about that.
You don't care about my dog either. You don't care my dog was killed by them.
What do you think's paying for this thing?
Because she almost killed him, man.
I'm sitting here with him right now. He's fucking paralyzed.
I thought you already took him to the doctors.
Yeah, and he's paralyzed. You know, I wasn't talking to your wife like anything. She got on the phone and she says, well,
She was sorry that he was hurt.
she never, sir, she never said that to me, sir. She just said, well, you need to do this. And I said, listen. I said, I don't particularly want to see Lauren right now because I'm kind of upset.
Oh, I don't blame you for that, man.
You know? Jeez.
But the thing is, man, you don't talk to my wife like that.
Well, the thing is like I didn't talk to her like anything. Well, hey, look, you know, I mean, bygones be bygones, but I don't understand what I'm apologizing for. I got a paralyzed dog.
I'm talking about you talking to my wife now.
And how do you know, sir, how I talk to your wife?
Because my wife just got finished.
Well, then she's lying to you.
She's not lying.
How do you know? Prove it.
She's never lied in her
Let me tell you something. I did not speak to her in any way except assertive and firm that I was upset that my dog was almost killed.
She said she wished she had a
And she just wouldn't, I don't know, she didn't hear it or something. I don't know what the hell's going on.
Well, I think everybody got heated up a little bit.
I understand that, and I said, hey, look, Lauren can come get her things later, but, I mean, this
That's
is,
what I want. Where do you live at anyway?
I mean, it's no problem. I'm over in Deer Trace. It's not a problem. I just said, hey, look, this is kind of, you know, I'm upset.
We're just kind of waiting while on
Yeah, that's fine. I'm fine with that.
All right.
All right,
I'll
cheers.
be in touch with you,
All right, sir.
okay?
Yes, sir. What in the motherfuck?
And I wouldn't believe it myself if I didn't have videos and fucking pictures and stuff. I tell you what, I got a video of that shit. I can't even watch it with him. He's my best fucking friend. My only friend in the world. And I was ready to kill myself if he'd have died. Because this person lied to me and pretended like we had nostalgia. I knew her fucking what the fuck. And then this person, like as soon as I turn my back, is trying to kill my fucking dog. And her daddy's a deputy sheriff, and then people making my goddamn life miserable. What would they have done had she succeeded? Whole fucking life was ruined. My whole marriage, the whole situation around here was fucking ruined and put at risk for all these criminals. I mean, like people that Lauren went through this shit, trust this mother. All this shit was fucking brought down and put at risk because he's a malignant fucking narcissist, and I called him an asshole, which is what the fuck he is, obviously. Because I called him an asshole and fucking barred him, you know, for 2 years. And all of this shit happened after she had been, you know, crying and all this stuff or whatever. You and my dad don't get along every year at Christmas, all this shit. Because Christmas is when they spin up their fucking bullshit. He comes over here, he shakes my hand that like I'm not going to be ostracized anymore, and I'm not going to be fucking abandoned and fucking discarded no more, family stuff like that, and we're going to be a family and all this bullshit. And 6 motherfucking months later, after he shook my hand on that, she's out the door and he's smiling in my motherfucking face. He just got through a damn workman's comp claim, you know, where some bullshit fucking you know, deal that he made with a fucking company to do some work with him or whatever. He decided he wanted to save a buck, and he got somebody that wasn't insured to do the job and everything, and then said in the court case about on a handshake. I said, oh, that dude's fucked, and that dude was fucked. He had injury to his he had a fucking brain injury and stuff, you know. And it was his bill taking workman's comp claim, and the whole thing was hinged. The whole reason the guy said, he said, yeah, well, you know, my former father-in-law said, yeah, he wanted to get paid, you know, in a timely manner, so we would sub out his contract for cash. And of course, I'd take a little on the side for me, you know, just for doing such a great job for somebody. He gets injured, and they hold up in court 10 fucking years on a workman's comp claim. I said, wow, that's getting paid in a timely manner, isn't it? You know, on a handshake. And you could read the goddamn deposition and the testimonies. You could tell them that my former father was goddamn lying. All you got to do is read the shit. He's a fucking liar, and he's lying in court. You don't have a problem with that. You know? And like, literally, like, Just 3 or 4 days before she was out the door, he'd been found responsible party to pay the guys that were misconduct. In a business that for the last 10 years or so of that time is for sale. It was empty and it was like in good standing and pumping through millions of fucking. That's it, man. He's moved down to the little piece of fucking to take control over the fuck everything. And if anybody fucking finds out or fucking doesn't, that's one thing. People fuck with you there, but I mean, if somebody calls you an asshole because you are an asshole, and he stands up for your freaking daughter because that's her husband, and all these motherfuckers at risk, and all this fucking shit's at risk because your married daughter who don't live at the house no more have a husband that stood up to you because you're being an asshole and everybody knows you're a fucking asshole and he stood up to you. That's a good husband right there. You got a good son-in-law right there. And that's what a father would want, is their daughter to be married to a motherfucker who'll stand up to his ass if he's out of line. I would.